Welcome, U.S. Virgin Islands Chess. This is host Colin Heim with another video. This notation here is directly related to a video that we just made the other day about an Italian game here in the experts playlist. The title of the video in the experts playlist, guys, that this game has to do with in deeper analysis. Brought to you by myself. This is the Italian game with the Hungarian defense. And let's just go through this game once again. Let's go through this notation. Remember, bishop c4, Hungarian defense. We just showed a video of this just the other day, but today we're going to go in a little more depth and find out what we could have done to create a very convincing winning position after a tremendous, noble double piece sacrifice in this attack for myself conducting white pieces. Okay, so I wanted to come up with this to show everyone what it takes to make sound piece sacrifices to gain positional advantage to defeat the opposing team. Okay, so as we mentioned, guys, here castles. Remember, guys, here rerouting the knight and then allowing knight capture z4 here. Remember, I mentioned because I wanted to, if you watched the previous video, I wanted to reroute that queenside knight. Knight e4, rook e1, knight goes back to f6, and bishop to g5 now. Knight from b to d7, queen to d3, now starting my attack. Knight b6 wasn't best here, guys. As we mentioned in the previous video about this game, this online game between myself and someone rated over about 2100 on Blitz Light Chess. Yeah, knight b6 isn't best. Maybe something just like bishop to b7, and then black can kind of sit back and wait for white to continue building his attack, his or her attack. So bishop to c2 now, long square diagonal. Bishop captures f6, bishop into f6, and then now bishop f5 by my opponent, directly attacking the d3 knight now. Knight's going to e4, ladies and gentlemen, just hopping over and blocking the attack. And notice how there are no pawns here to pester the knight on e4. It's a very powerful knight because, as we mentioned, d5 pawn push was very sound and gave support to that knight hop. So rerouting. Bishop to g7, aha, h3, bishop to d7, and why was bishop to d7 a mistake again, guys, in the other playlist? Well, knight is now capturing on d6. Remember, bishop captures h3, not capturing the bishop immediately, guys, but going for this knight captures f7, gaining back the pawn, gaining back the material, and then after rook captures, now g captures into h, and there's an open file now here for the player with white. So king h1 was played, and that's actually the best move according to the engine. So I was playing all engine moves at this point. Queen to f6. Rook to g1, very sound. Queen to f4. Rook to g4, maybe kind of exclam / question mark here, guys, in this position. Now if we go back to what was played, queen to c1 check, and king goes to g2. Now queen is capturing on b2. Obviously, this was all in the other analysis, in the other tutorial. We're just going to take a little more depth and look at what your instructor could have played to just clinch a very easily winning game after this sacrifice. So, okay, here's where it starts getting juicy, guys. Knight g5, and here comes, okay, the rook is getting out of the way, and this is it, guys. Remember, showed this in the other video. Knight captures h7, and the engine says this is sound. In other words, it's completely provocative. It works. Rook captures g6. King is going back to g8 square to avoid rook captures f6 and then a check by the queen. And then the engine also loves the move that I played in the game online. Rook captures g7, and after king captures g7, queen to h7 check. And it was in this position that I actually kind of messed things up here with white. Guys, find the best move for white in this position. I had about 15 seconds on the clock. My opponent had about a minute and 50 seconds, roughly, from what I remember. Find the best move for white. Your instructor played queen to h8, but that is not the best move. What is the best move in this position? Right, if you're reading the notation, guys, it's actually rook to g3. swinging that rook all the way over to g3. And if we look at the analysis here, it's going to say that after this, white is completely winning, or clearly winning, as the engine mentions. Okay, so rook to g3, and let's find a move for black in this position. What's something maybe like, well, if we touch every piece here, guys, and we look at what options black has here according to the engine, we're getting all red squares all around from all pieces that black has remaining on the board. Not even the e4 pawn push. Where is the queen recommended to go here after we give the engine a couple of seconds? Okay, so the black queen we see there is encouraged to go nowhere, not even capturing on c2. So I guess it's just recommending that black sort of concedes this position with a move like just rook captures f2, and after rook captures, then maybe it's check, right? So I guess king is recapturing, best move, right? And then what is it recommending black to do in this position? Should black capture the bishop on c2? Is that best? Let's see. Queen captures with check, then oh, that's totally not okay, because then black is conceding on the spot, so that's why that didn't work out. Sorry guys, I just missed that long diagonal. Okay, so here there's only one check for the black queen to give to the white king, and that is d4 check, queen to d4 check. And okay, so there's only one square really recommended here for white to go to, and that is king check. Notice how queen can't go to e3, e4. Those are all protected squares. So let's go for something like queen to a1. And after, we could just say blocking with the bishop. And maybe black could just throw another check here just to kind of prolong things. And let's see what, yeah, the king's just recommended to go to f1. And then, yeah, so now there's no more checks for the player with the black pieces, and just playing any random move. It's black's turn to move, and there's virtually nothing here. Okay, let's just say, is there anything to be said about knight to f6? Well, the best move in the position is, yes, queen to g7, obvious. King is going to e8, and now there is a check. You could always play bishop h5. The computer says this is totally okay. And after knight captures, yeah, you can just play king to or queen to g8, and now king is forced to move forward. And here comes queen to e6 check, either square, and now it's going for the mate here. Okay, better than queen to c6 check. The computer saying that better than that was just queen to e7, so we'll go with that, queen to e7, or maybe not queen to e7. I guess queen e7 works, but in other ways, any square now is recommended by the engine because this is mate, rook g8. So that was the winning endgame for this hopeless position for black after sacrificing a knight and a major piece and a rook in this very, very, very brutal attack with white, guys and girls. I hope everybody enjoyed this. That was the solution. That was probably the best solution. But yeah, instead of queen to h8, as your instructor Dorsey played in the game, swing that rook from a3 to g3. After the queen h7 check. Queen h7 check is perfect. Everything up to this point the engine recommends and said is very solid, and white is clearly better. Now, not checking again here with the queen, just swinging the rook all the way across the board and dropping the bishop. It doesn't matter at this point because the rook and queen duo here on the king side is completely fatal for black. And let's just run through it again. So attacking the queen, queen goes to h6 check, king to e8, king to d8, and these were the moves that were played in the previous line. So again, the computer mentions it because there's virtually nothing at all here good for black except for rook takes f2 check, and after king takes, yeah, we said that didn't work out too well. Queen d4 check made more sense, and then this line here with king e1 checking again, blocking the check, and black can give one more check, and then knight to f6 attacking the queen on h7. Queen goes to g7 check, king goes to e8, and just giving up the bishop here is fine for making the knight move from f6. Queen is going to g8, king d7, queen e6 check, yeah, king c7, and after this final queen check, because the pawn is still on d5 without having to play d6 before in the other line, and now the king is just forced to move back to either b8 or d8, and rook is coming to g8, and that is going to be check and mate here just in a moment. After this, and that's going to be queen e6 check and mate. So thank you guys very much for watching. This was the in-depth analysis over coverage of that 2100 level blitz game, just about. And yeah, so we went over what moves should have been played and how all those sacrifices worked very well for white, completely winning in the endgame. And the engine gives thorough analysis and thorough coverage that yes, it is clearly winning for white. So thank you guys for participating and watching. Hope everyone's having a lovely start of the new month. We'll see everyone on the other side. And thank you guys so much again for watching. Colin here with U.S. Virgin Islands Chess Federation at home and abroad. And bye, guys. Until next time.